Hi, I'm Alyssa from Handmade, and in this video you'll get to see me go through a process of redoing this desk. I found it on Marketplace and you'll be watching the makeover. From some of the chipping on this desk, I can tell that there are several layers of paint, and I can also tell that the top, and probably the rest of it, is made from solid wood from the back of the desk. So because I know there's multiple layers, I realize that sanding will take ages to remove, and a heat gun might work, but a stripper will just work faster. So I like to use Citrus Strip. It's low VOC. It's not as toxic as other strippers. And the key to using this product is to making sure it doesn't dry. If it's liquid, it is removable. It is working. So I lather it on very thick with my chip brush, and then I wrap it with plastic wrap, which keeps it from drying. No air movement means it will stay fluid. It will be activating and loosening up your paint. And then I leave it for 4 to 6 hours and come back and scrape it off. I see that the first layer of paint is off, the yellow is gone, and now we're left with white. So I go ahead and apply the Citrus Strip again to get ready for removal. Here I'm sanding over the drawer fronts. That glossy paint needs to be roughed up just a little bit so that when I am ready to fill that concaved void behind the pools, that it has something to grab onto. Now I'm wiping the drawers clean of any dust and filling with Bondo. Bondo is a auto body repair product, and it works great for furniture repairs. It sands beautifully and it is so strong. So I like to use that with my bigger repairs. Back to the desktop, we have removed mostly two layers of paint at this point, and whatever's left can be removed just by sanding. So with 80 grit, I go ahead and remove the rest of the paint. I then go back to the drawers and sand smooth those Bondo repairs once they're completely dry. After sanding, I can see that I need to build up another layer. It's not quite level. So one more Bondo application to build it up. While the Bondo is drying on the drawers, I head back to the desktop and I use the color Hickory in the Minwax gel stain. While the stain is drying, I head back to my drawers. The Bondo is now completely dry and I can sand it smooth. After the gel stain has dried, I grab my sponge and my preferred top coat, which happens to be matte polyacrylic, and I dip my sponge on my can, and from swiping one side to the other, slowly you get a nice smooth finish. No bubbles, no streaks, just nice and clean. I'm planning to use a rice decoupage paper from Redesign with Prima on the fronts of my drawers, and the color I chose for my desk is a green. It's made up of at least 5 leftovers from other Heirloom Tradition paints, and I mixed them all together to get this nice country green. So to keep the drawers looking light with the decoupage paper, I'm using linen, which is a pretty off-white, just to keep the drawer papers light. Next, to prep the desk, I'm scrubbing it nice and clean with a no-rinse sander deglosser and wiping dry. I'm applying the first coat of my custom green using my brush and roller. Heirloom Traditions paint works well with this method, as Paula and their team do encourage. It self-levels beautifully and you get no brush strokes. To get ready to apply my rice decoupage paper, I'm applying 1 to 2 coats of your choice of top coat. I'm using, again, polyacrylic. It just gets a nice foundation for your paper to adhere to. While my drawer fronts are drying, I'm cutting out my rice paper to size. I was lucky with this paper and already had lines built into the pattern. Now I'm laying my trimmed pieces of decoupage paper on my drawers while the last layer of top coat is still wet. While the drawer's dry, I'm heading back to the desk to give it the second coat of green. When you find that your drawers are dry, then you can add 1 to 2 more coats of your choice of top coat for durability. Now, since prior painters had been a little messy, there was yellow and white on the original casters below, so I opted to touch them up with some Iron Gate, which is a really pretty black. Hello, zebra print. On the right piece, this print could work, but this is not that piece. So I remove whatever loose pieces I can, and then I wipe clean to prep for new paper. Peel and stick paper will not stick to dust or dirt, so it's important that it's clean and dry. I like to use peel and stick paper to line my drawers. There's so many beautiful prints. They're easy to wipe down. They're also convenient to dry fit, and then as you're applying, you can reposition them a few times. And then probably one of the best features is that future removal will not damage, it won't rip, it comes out clean. As always, the icing on the cake is the hardware. You know, the original cutouts and medallions at the base make me suspect that the original style was like an Art Deco. However, I don't have the original hardware. They came with like these 70s looking pools, and which obviously didn't match the style of the piece, and I could see that the original holes were filled from behind the drawer fronts. And so since I didn't have the originals, we had to do a completely new design, had to reimagine the feel for this. And to fit this country cottage theme, we went with some weathered nickel pulls and installed those. Well, I hope you enjoyed this marketplace makeover. I had a good time, and sometimes these are the best to see the whole transformation from something that was once just not doing so hot, a little bit worn down, a little bit tired and ugly, and now it's got a whole new look. As always, I hope you've been inspired and you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more from Handmade, you can go to my website, YouTube, or Instagram and Facebook.